You're okay. So, what's up, guys? This is a special edition of Twisty and the Spizz podcast. Starting to have some guests on now for the first time in years. And my goal with these interviews is for really us to understand and learn about the deeper levels of the true Spizdom, of the why, the courage that it takes for the people that we're talking to, the motivation, the determination. So I got Dr. Jordan Bowen with us, and I've known Dr. Jordan for years. We've worked together. We've partnered together. I've pimped, I've promoted, vice versa. I'm really excited about a program that he's launching this new year. We're going to get into that. Dude, this is a place for me to actually have the, like, who the heck are you really conversation. And when I think about Dr. Jordan, I think about the first time a deep conversation that we had at Berkshire's about, you know, at that time you were looking to maybe launch, I think you were thinking about launching a podcast yourself for fathers.
Yeah. Yep.
I've always had an affinity for you because at that time in my life, I was nowhere near being in any place that someone would call me dad, you know, and I was like, but I was all about what you were going to do because I was like, you were spizzed up about it. And if someone is fired up about something, that fires me up. But give me the journey of Dr. Jordan and before Dr. Jordan, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so going way back, I am the oldest of 4 boys, first one to ever go to college. And so I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me. And growing up, it was always
were you guys, so first one to go to college, and I know we can talk I mean, were you guys white collar, blue collar, white trash, blue trash, like
blue trash. We lived on an 80-acre farm, had a little bit of garden, a couple of cows, but I was homeschooled for a while because at 2nd grade I couldn't read or write. So yeah, I was just the one of those ones that was falling through the cracks because I was just out there having too much fun. Yeah, no, I couldn't. Yeah, and then I started getting in trouble in 2nd grade, so my mom pulled me and said,
what
"We're
were
not."
you doing? Were you beating up people or?
Yeah, you know, playing Power Rangers on the court and hitting people and doing things
Yeah.
like that. I got called to the principal's office, so my
Dude,
mom wasn't
I
too happy
brought
about it.
Playboys to school when I was in 2nd grade.
So yeah, I
So
had
homeschooled.
parents' moms calling me or calling the school, telling me to get in trouble. So yeah, it was an interesting time.
So homeschooled farmers, I'm picking up that they might have been holistically inclined, but were they, did they see a chiropractor?
No, we always thought chiropractic was bogus,
Okay.
but we weren't necessarily holistic minded, but we were healthy. So we never
Okay.
had to go to the doctor. We never had to do anything just because we were just healthy, a healthy family.
But a family paradigm. This is really interesting. Chiropractors were quacks in your family.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, we'll come back to that probably. So you're getting homeschooled, you're growing up. Give me Jordan growing up. Were you in high school? Were you a player? Were you a partier? Were you a quiet? Were you a nerd? What were you?
I was the guy people thought were going to blow up the school.
Cool.
I was the quiet. I played football my whole life. But other than my teammates, I didn't talk to people. I was that black hoodie, hood up, sleeping in class.
What were you listening? I'm just curious. What were you listening, reading, or watching? What were you consuming? I'm just curious at that time.
Christian death metal.
Are you serious? Okay. That is great, dude.
So yeah,
I don't think I'm ever going to hear that answer from anyone else in my life. Christian death metal. Okay. You're kind of emo then, in a way. You're emo-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before emo was cool. I was actively, I guess I had enough intuition and wisdom. I was actively trying to fail out of school. I would actively pick the wrong answer on tests and things like that. And they set me down and said, listen, you can't do this. Like, you're going to pass whether you like it or not.
What are your, you look back now and where you're at, what would you have told that Jordan in high school? Would you have been, hey, dude, just keep doing the same thing you're doing? Would you advise him different? Like, what do you know now that you would go back in time Marty McFly style if you could?
Just enjoy it. Just keep being yourself, but enjoy it. Don't look towards the future as much as what you are doing.
What were you looking for the future? Where were you? Where do you think you were headed?
So, other than trying to actively fail out of high school, I
Yeah.
was just wanting to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay. Where did that attraction come from?
People always said growing up that I should go be a doctor, and I liked blood and guts and helping people.
Okay. So, dude, you're kind of scary at this point a little bit.
Very, yeah. And I'm this size in high school, so I'm 6'2", 230 pounds in high school.
This is great. So, okay. So give me, they're transitioning to college, Jordan, and give me the walkthrough and then where the life takes you on the curveball, I guess.
Yeah, so I went to college for exercise science and was doing all the prereqs I needed for medical school. And I was, again, same kind of way. I had more friends in college, but I wasn't really a
Yeah.
partier or anything else like that. I was kind of just kept to myself and um, started playing video games because that's whenever that was starting to really pick up and stuff like that. So
What were your video games that you're playing?
started getting into World of Warcraft back then, right whenever it was first getting launched, because that whole multiplayer online scene was kind of intriguing to me.
I had a guy I was working at AT&T Singular and I was selling phones. So I was 22 or 23 at this point in time. And that was launching out. And a guy who was one of my coworkers, Mike, who was at the time my age now, 41, 42, destroyed his marriage and fell in love with someone he was playing with who he thought was a hot, attractive female. And we
Could have been me.
What's that?
I said it could have been me.
Could have been you. The other day, dude, it was, dude, he destroyed his whole life. And everyone was like, but he was the same guy that went to a strip club for the first time with me and fell in love with a stripper like the first time. So it was like he's just that guy. So you're into these games. You're taking yourself in and out of life, real life, digital life, all this. You're going to school. Where does chiropractic hit you on the head?
So last semester of my senior year of college, New Year's Day, 2007, I'm going up a hill on a four-wheeler. It flips over on me and I break my back.
Yeah. What you wait, hold on. You broke your back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, compression fracture teeth.
Okay. Wow.
So I pushed the four-wheeler off of me, got up, walked out to the truck, told my buddy, you need to take me to the hospital. And got to the hospital. I'm a big guy. They couldn't get me into the bed. They didn't have any beds available, so they put me in a wheelchair. And so I'm like propping myself up so that I don't put any pressure on my back. It was just a miserable experience. But I saw my orthopedic surgeon for like 45 seconds. He said, "Oh, you don't need surgery. You'll be fine." And then walked out. I was in the hospital for 3 days. They put me in a brace, all this kind of stuff. And so I was going and realizing that I didn't like the way the medication made me feel because I wasn't myself, which, sometimes that's all right. But for this, it wasn't great. I didn't like the bedside manner. I didn't like the fact that my orthopedic surgeon didn't have any relationship with me. And so I realized there had to be something else.
Yeah.
I graduated college, started to go to work for my dad as an electrician, just handyman, general stuff.
Yeah.
And I was checking my emails before work one day, and a spam email came through saying, "Ever think about chiropractic?"
I love that this is a spam email, first of all.
It's total spam. Yeah. It was in my spam mailbox. I was just cleaning the stuff out because back then I thought I had to clean out my emails. And so I said no because they had come and presented in college a couple of times. They're just weirdos. I wasn't going to do it. Just a bunch of quacks. It's all the placebo effect. So I said, well, at this stage, why not? They filled in the little contact information. They called me back in like 20 minutes and said, "So what's your background?" I said, "Oh, well, I went for exercise science."
Dude, that's speed the lead there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And they said, "Okay, well, send us your transcripts and you should be good. And this was like October, and end of October and early November, they said, okay, come take a tour of the school. You'll be in. I said, okay. Toured the school. And I said, well, I don't really want to start in the new year, a trimester. Give me another, wait till the fall. So, and started chiropractic school in the fall. Never been to a chiropractor, never got adjusted. I was probably eighth or ninth try before I had actually gotten adjusted by anybody. So I
Yeah.
got through almost all of school without it even. So
Oh
yeah.
my God, dude. Okay. All right. Give me your chiropractic journey in an elevator pitch.
From mechanistic to holistic, realizing that the body is more than just the joints and that really you're capable of healing from anything. All it takes is a little bit of faith and balancing your body out.
Yeah. Where did the Redneck Coach come into play with your chiropractic world? I know I'm jumping faster ahead, but I want to get to know you young a little bit, but talk to me about where that comes in.
Well, going back to the young real quick, after I went to school, I have three brothers. One of them went to the army, but the other two, one became a pharmacist and the other one's a dentist. So not only did they just go to college, they continued on as well. But in school, I told everybody I'm never coming back to my town. I was getting out of here, going Colorado, Washington, California, somewhere else. And came back and just things keep falling into place to stay here. And now I love it. And kind of going back to my roots, I bought into all these coaching programs and different things where it was like, you need to do this. And it was all white collar stuff. And it's like, I just don't feel like I fit into any of this.
Right.
And where I fit in the most is, having Yingling and hanging out around a campfire and just really being blue collar. I mean, we're remodeling a house right now. And so it's just like everything, whenever I look back on it, I'm just a bunch of redneck stuff.
Yeah.
And after I got married, and my wife even told me, like, why are you trying to do all this stuff? You're just a redneck. Like, you're just hanging out. And so it just kind of has morphed into, you know what? I'm just going to embrace that.
Yeah. Dude. So we jammed on a Facebook Live, just so the audience knows. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but I think it was right before the Thanksgiving break. And because I was in Iowa, and it really hit me what you're doing and what you're building for this new year. So I want to give kind of a pimp and promote here moment. Allow me, audience, if you will. Jordan's building something that I believe money on the table is more important and more valuable than 98% of the other programs out there in chiropractic, because here's the deal. You can't get done with 98% of the other programs and offers and cool things that can help you, including a lot of the shit that I do, without having accountability.
All right.
I was super excited for that. And then it hit me when I was talking to him going, and whether it's you or your team or your spouse being on the same page for the goals and visions that you have and all the big dream stuff. So if you're out there and you're going, I just can't seem to get shit done. I just can't seem to ever get out of my own way. I just can't seem to get my team on the right page. I just can't seem to get going. Or I don't know even how to end and stop. Man, Dr. Jordan's built something for you. Dude, give us the scoop of what's coming in January for the Spizz podcast.
Yeah. So again, being redneck, I went and called it's called Mundane Greatness. Because if you talk to any of the greats, if you listen to any podcast, anything by Michael Jordan, Kobe, any of those guys, it's not the raw talent that gets them there. It's the mundane things, the practice over and over and over again, the hitting the singles, not the home runs, that gets them to that end point of where they want to be. And that is what actually brings out the greatness. The greatness isn't the flashes that we see on TV. The greatness is whenever it is in the back, whenever nobody's watching, repeating over and over and practicing. And so with that, I looked at, okay, what would I have wanted 5, 6, 7 years ago when I was getting started, or whenever I had these ideas that I wanted to get going? And it was all came down to accountability. You know, if you don't have anybody, I mean, there's some people, I'm not one of them, that's ingrained accountability to themselves, that discipline to just keep pushing forward. But for the vast majority of us out there, we need somebody
Yeah.
to have accountability with.
Yeah.
And in a lot of things, your spouse is great, but you don't want to have those conversations with your spouse and have the fights between each other
No.
about why you didn't do something right then and there and things like that. So I came up with this Mundane Greatness, which is a 52-week email accountability program where it's asynchronous. You get an email every Friday, you read it. Tells a little bit about my life, some things about accountability, some things about things I've gone through and I'm learning. But then at the end, it goes into, you know, what are you doing? What have you done in this week that moves you towards where you want to go? And then what else can I do to help get you there and help keep you accountable? And it's asynchronous. So you read that and you're in the middle of something. You're like, you know what? I'll come back in 45 minutes and type out a 15-minute email telling what's going on. And then I'm able to see that, read that, respond to you. Sometimes it's like, great, keep moving. Other times it's like, okay, well, this is what I found in the past that has worked. I try it this way. And it's really to help you have that accountability for those 52 weeks of the year to make sure that you're heading where you want to go. And if you pivot, that's great because you've realized that, you know what, I want this rather than where I thought I was going, but it's going to give you that accountability to help you move forward.
You know, if someone who always wants to talk about, there's a lot of people out there that listen to this and you know, scalability is the word that they love to use, buzzword. Well, I think the buzzword that Jordan just, it should be the buzzword was, I can't pronounce asynchronicity.
Asynchronous.
Allows you to get to massive scalability. It also allows you to do stuff at lower cost and lower fees. And Jordan's made this very affordable and effective and high ROI for you. It's convenient and it's going to give you impact to output. 1,000% endorse and suggest you guys jump on this. I'm going to be gifting out to my people, some of my VIPs out there. I hate using that word. I just talked to someone about this today. Shame on me. Slap my mouth. I don't like using that language. But sometimes it's in the Dewey Decimal thing of that. So
Yeah.
for 3 lucky audience winners who listen to the Spizz podcast this week or going into January, if you'd like to get the 52 weeks program from Dr. Jordan on Twisty, just hit me up at twisty@thespizz.com. On that note, Jordan, how do people get in touch and hope and work with you?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to email me directly at redneckcoaching@gmail.com, I might keep it old school with the Gmail account. They can reach out that way. It's probably the easiest, or just find me on Facebook, send me a message. I'll respond however they need me to.
Perfect. Hey, dude, thanks for jamming and going deeper on you today and getting to know you a little bit better, man, and sharing some of those funny stories, dude.
Absolutely.